Hello everybody, this is Patrick Dennis with Youreka, and I just want to take some time today to show you a quick demo of how we could use Youreka to conduct a self-assessment related to this COVID-19 crisis that we're all facing. This is going to be an assessment that's available on a website or a Salesforce community that anybody could fill out and push data back into Salesforce. So what I'm going to show you today is we're going to start in a website or at a Salesforce community. We're going to click a button and jump into a quick inspection or a quick self-assessment where we can do things like a safety check or as well as a symptom check just to make sure that we're filling out all the right information and answering questions about what we're currently experiencing as an individual. We can also present the folks, the user with guidelines and protocol, and then ultimately jump back into Salesforce and review the data. So here what we have is an example of a website or a Salesforce community where I can click a button and immediately jump into a Youreka form. Now these forms are easily configured with a drag and drop editor, but when we present them to our users, it's a very simple user interface for us to start filling out answers to these questions. So for example, for this first risk assessment, we can say, have you traveled to China in the last 14 days? If the answer is no, maybe we want to ask them a different question. If the answer was yes, maybe we want to ask them where in China they had visited. So you can see here we're presenting new questions, new information to the user as they're filling out the questionnaire, making sure that they're only seeing the relevant information. So maybe as a second section here, we can say that if they're a healthcare professional, we could give them a healthcare personnel assessment. So here, have you experienced prolonged close contact with somebody who's tested positive for this? If so, were you wearing a face mask or were they wearing a face mask or a respirator? In this case, we're able to just kind of guide them through and then show them also, to what degree they've been exposed and also give them helpful guidelines along the way. The final section here is the symptom assessment. So if they're experiencing symptoms, we could show them helpful information about what they ought to be doing related to each of those symptoms to make sure that they're taking care of themselves and reducing risk of exposure to other folks that they might be caring for. Again, all this information can be presented to them based on the answers to the different questions that they present inside of this questionnaire. And more importantly, all this information is about to get pushed back to Salesforce. So here, as they finish the questionnaire, they can click submit, and they could be returned back to the Salesforce community or the website. But most importantly, back inside of Salesforce, we can see every single form that has been submitted from that website. And as we click into each of these are their own records, so we can actually go in and see all the information that was filled out. We can manage business process here, and we can automate using Salesforce automation rules. And also, Youreka is capable of identifying certain key insights that we need to know about, like that this person is a high-risk individual and that they're presenting symptoms, which could trigger other Salesforce automation or certainly be reportable in the event that we want to analyze that information at a high level. And we can analyze that information using Salesforce reports and dashboards like the one that you see here. Or if we want to dig in, we can jump in at the question by question level and see what the different breakdowns of the different responses are for each question in our questionnaire. So in short, we're able to present questionnaires to folks visiting our websites. They can fill them out, and then all that data returns back to Salesforce so that we can manage our business processes and support this crisis. If you want to learn more, you can visit go.youreka.io/COVID-19.